Hey guys, welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys, so I have to say, I started off this morning with the best way to start off my new morning show, Wake Up and Adam, and I had so much fun with you guys. Sure, was I over caffeinated? Yes, but was I overserved? No. Which leads me to my next point, the topic of this video, which is Andy Cohen allegedly fired. Now, guys, piece that together. Andy Cohen fired, but from what? Okay, we have all the details on that and more. But before we jump in, I wanted to say thank you again so much for joining me this morning. We're doing Wake Up and Adam Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Also, please join us tonight. We would love you to for another round of today's hot takes on Jason's channel, Down with Jason at 6 p.m. And we're going to talk about this alleged firing right now. So before we jump in, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so you heard it right. It looks like Andy Cohen will not be invited back to CNN New Year's special next year, which means, kish, you're fired, you're done. You made it nice, but it's over. So you want to mention it all? Now's the time to talk about CNN. Senior CNN staffers are telling Radar that they are embarrassed to work for this. I mean, I can't blame them, but to work for the news network following Andy Cohen's drunken New Year's special, and are happy that he won't be invited again back next year. What does that mean and why? Well, we have the details. Now, a top insider has actually told Radar Online, "We claim to be the most trusted network in news, and yet CNN hires Andy Cohen to make a fool out of all of us on New Year's Eve and his performance. Andy doesn't even work for CNN, and yet he has been the face of our network for the past 48 hours. It is embarrassing, and real CNN staffers are very angry." I mean, it's New Year's Eve, so it should be a little bit lighthearted. I don't know if it should necessarily be that big of a deal, but it was a little bit of a drunken stupor, and he did go on Twitter and say, hey, I was overserved. Now, during CNN's Friday night special, where Andy Cohen went on a rant about Bill de Blasio, encouraged his parents, aged 90 and 85, to have an edible, and even took a shot at Ryan Seacrest's viewers, calling them losers. Yeah, it was a little bit of a shit show, to say the least. Now, interestingly enough, the following morning, Andy Cohen took to Twitter to try and downplay the incident, at least that's what Radar Online is calling it, and saying, "I was a bit overserved last night." He wrote, "I had so much fun though, and I hope you did too." Andy went too far. I think we can agree that that it is CNN who looks like losers. This is what a top CNN source said to Radar Online. Nothing has been made official yet, but internally we have been told that Andy will not be invited back next year. Embarrassing himself is one thing, but embarrassing Anderson Cooper is another. I was already known that, Anderson does not want to host next year's special. He would rather ring in the New Year's with his son. And without Anderson, thankfully, there will be no Andy Cohen. Okay. And although CNN staffers are embarrassed, NBC staffers are very amused. What did CNN expect? This is the guy that created The Real Housewives. He interviews reality train wrecks, not world leaders, and real newsmakers, laughed an NBC source. Andy works for Bravo's parent company, NBC, but they didn't want him that night. Instead, they went with Miley Cyrus and Pete Davidson. If Andy wants to make a fool of himself on December 31st, better he do it on CNN rather than NBC. Okay, that's an interesting take. But mind you guys, we talked about, a few of these things and we kind of played it back and forth. Is it that bad? What was the big deal? But when I told you guys that Andy was receiving a lot of backlash, it wasn't because he was allegedly being fired from the CNN special. It was because people thought that he was under the influence of something other than alcohol. They were saying it was the C word, the white powdery substance. And I still say I don't believe that. But a lot of fans tweeted, went on social media and said, well, HDTV doesn't lie. Now for Andy Cohen, does this mean anything? No, it means that he doesn't have to, or well, he doesn't get to have his, fun little special with his best friend, Anderson Cooper. But is he going to go broke? No. Is it going to affect his money? No. Is it going to affect his job on NBC? No. But will he be fired from the special? It looks like that's a most likely. After going off on Bill de Blasio and the edible comment, and also talking about Ryan Seacrest, I thought it was all in good humor, light fun. I honestly enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. I loved watching Andy and Anderson, and it was so funny to see Anderson try to calm Andy down. It wasn't working, but it was great TV, and it was a funny way to ring in 2022. But now that I'm thinking about it from Andy's perspective, what a way to ring in 2022. I'm sure he made at least over $500,000 for that special, probably even $1 million. I mean, really, I know those sound like crazy numbers, but guys, think about it. He is hosting the New Year's Eve with Anderson Cooper. It's a big deal. It's one of the most televised shows, series, specials of the year. Yeah, he's bringing in the bucks. But will that stop him from moving forward and having a life after this? I'm going to go with the strong no. I don't think it will. But guys, I don't want to just give you this information and not ask your opinions. What do you think? Do you think Andy Cohen was actually fired? Do you think that it's in the works? And do you think he even gives a shit? To be fair, I wouldn't. If I were Andy, I would not care at this point. I know that I'm worth millions of dollars. I have my son at home. I helped create everything that Bravo is all about. I came up with this idea based off the Desperate Housewives and turned it into the Real Housewives. No, I would not care. I would be good. I would be like, oh, you guys are mad? Sorry. But I'm also not Andy Cohen. So again, comment below and don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Also, guys, we are going live with Jason at 6 p.m. tonight for today's hot takes, where we have a lot to discuss. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow morning for my Wake Up and Adam show, where I'm going to be heavily caffeinated, but hopefully you guys will be too. And if you're not awake, well, tune in. I'll wake you up. Whether it's with the stories, my energy, or everything in between, I'll wake you up. Just ask Adam. I'm here. Guys, I love you guys. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you so very soon. See you on Jason's channel tonight, 6 p.m. And don't forget to check out Below Deck, because tomorrow night, it's Anchor Watch at 11 p.m. on Down with Jason. Bye, guys. Love you.